to the tavern.
I think we left
Alright.
off leaving Archer's actual day job.
Yep. You just had a meeting with Mr. Demore.
And Clint had some unpleasant realizations.
Yep.
Yes. I am checking. I didn't take notes last time because it was mostly backstory stuff that had happened.
Mhm.
Clint
So-
had unpleasant realizations, and Ashley told us that he is being chased potentially by Titania and has a pocket
Mhm.
fairy.
This fairy has transitioned to be like a top of head fairy.
A pocket fairy?
Pocket fairy, ha cha cha.
let's see.
And I think something was given to Ashley to help.
Yes.
The amulet of something, something, something.
Done. Basically, an amulet of "Please
Yeah.
don't look at me."
Yeah.
Anti-scrying.
Yeah.
Found out.
Amulet of no peeking. Alright, also preface this with I have had very little sleep. I did not get to take a nap.
The DM might conk out too.
No, I wouldn't conk out. It'll just get real fucking weird if I get too tired.
It's fine.
Yeah. Alright. So you all are headed out with new revelations and new drip in tow. Ashley's got that necklace. Or that amulet he got from Archer with a deal of like, okay, he gets 2 free drinks a day at the tavern in exchange for just giving Ashley this.
One of his choice and one of whatever the special is, which is whatever we are trying to get rid of.
Yep. And he also mentioned to you all that he has a strong feeling that the next monster, for lack of a better term, is going to appear in Dock Ward tonight.
One of them.
While he is going to be one of them. While he is going to be taking care of one in Sea Ward. So is it? And so, where are you guys headed? I know Ashley had a thing he wanted to do.
I do have a thing that Ashley wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind doing dock worker stuff if we gotta go do that.
Well, that's gonna be at night, and this is still this would be like midday by this point.
Yeah, it's like 1 p.m.
Yeah. I mean, Ashley will go say hi to the family. Hello.
Does he try to slip away from Clinton Feyre, or does he like need the questionable moral support of the two of them?
Up to you two. I don't care either way.
Clint is always up for questionable moral support.
Okay.
Your emotional support rogues.
One that just is happy and down for everything, and one that has to be sarcastic about everything. Hi, Mom, Dad. These are who I'm doing business with. Don't I make
Try
good
to
life
ignore the
choices?
That's not a gun, that's a wallet.
I swear. Also, they're not mugging you. Yet.
Yet. We'll see.
We'll see. Okay. So, I guess traveling as a group?
Yeah.
Okay. So... Sorry, 1 second. Uh, uh. So, Ashley, what's your last name?
Estelmer.
Estelmer. Okay, I'm sorry. It's fancy last name. You know that the Estelmer estate is located in Seaward, and that those of you who have been in the city for more than 6 months would know that Seaward is essentially the place where the rich and powerful, or those who wish to think themselves as rich and powerful and can afford the rent, live and have their businesses there. So the Estelmers have an estate over in Seaward in this direction. All the way over here. It's like on a cliffside. So some of the upper houses and the taller buildings and estates can have a nice view of the ocean over the city wall. That's only if they're more than 4 stories tall. Which some of them are. Not all of them, though. And do we have a party token?
We do not.
We don't.
Not yet, because you're only just now letting us see these maps because they're not crusty.
Party
Yeah.
hat. Party hat.
No, I have a... Hold on. Let me go to my other game real quick.
No one
Generic
respects the
tokens.
party cat.
It has to be thematically appropriate. That's not
There we go.
thematically appropriate.
It's just a D&D symbol. Give me a break. Well, you have something better in mind?
Yes, Amy, I do.
Not
dagger.
no. Well, a
What do
dagger
you-
would be like a teeny knife.
Dagger, cartoon. Coin?
Coin would also be
Ooh.
good.
Gold coin.
A gold kern.
Token. Not a Bitcoin.
Please do not.
5e. Yeah, here we go. You guys can have your fucking shit here. We'll turn the... Gotta make the background white. Gotta fucking downsize this. I'll just do a dragon piece, a single gold piece.
You know what
As
to do. That's
the
acceptable.
I hope to God this token thing doesn't fucking do this shit.
You can also, 'cause you'd still have the membership, right?
Yeah.
Could you search? Search.
True.
I could just search. I've never been able to do that before. Holy shit! What do I search? Party token?
Whatever you want.
I uploaded this shit twice. I can't. That's a party girl. Yeah, nope. Nothing. Alright, gold coin token it is. What color do you want your border to be, guys?
Red.
Works fine.
Red? Alright,
Red.
cool.
Rhymes with rogue.
Red. Make it dark red. Oop. Okay, download. I don't care where the fuck it saves. I'll figure that shit out later. There we go. Token of a gold coin. Of a D&D gold coin. A dragon, if you will. So, you guys are...
Crusty ass noodle.
Well, that's what the gold coin is, so...
I mean, that's the way
That's what
most
coins are.
are, but it's disappointing all the same.
Yeah. Fucking... We can workshop it later, okay?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't fucking matter. We'll say that Ashley's family lives here, unless you have a specific vibe you want.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Oh
right
shit,
here,
your family like deadass lives in town, huh?
Joe,
We
It's
are a
based-
noble
I have
family.
so many questions.
For who?
For Joe.
For some reason, I thought, like, because of the whole Fae thing, that Ashley could not be from in town. Ashley had to be from some faraway place and was here because of other reason.
Ashley has said many times
I don't-
over they're from here.
That was the whole drama point of this, is that he hasn't spoken to his family yet, who live in the city.
I thought the whole drama point was that he was literally avoiding his family. I thought it was still a
This is where the
dramatic
tavern
point.
is. This
Yeah.
is where the family lives.
Got it.
Like, Ashley has been avoiding them when they're fucking half-hour carriage ride away.
Yeah,
It's fine.
it does make sense for Clint in one ear, out the other.
Yeah.
It does. Clint's like, wait, what do you mean your family lives here? But you make your way over to the estate. Now, does Ashley fill in Farah and Clint on what the plan is here? Is there like a certain vibe he's giving off? Like the situation.
He's a little skittish, but he's like, okay, I'm gonna go see my family, I guess. Not looking forward to that.
So something like, I'm gonna go see my family. Gets into the cart, sees Farah and Clint are right beside him. I meant just me. Just like, yeah, and us.
We are sharing one carriage.
This is my carriage, you fucks. No, he's fine with it.
Anything you want us to either mention or not mention?
Try not to mention what doesn't need to be mentioned.
The fuck does that mean?
It means you're a rogue.
Cool, so we
Don't
can tell them
mention-
that you're being kidnapped.
If that's what you gotta do.
And also that
But
you
also
were
don't.
avoiding them. And also that I think
You know what, just don't say anything. How about that?
that's easier to do.
Oh boy. I'm just. This is an interesting. What? Why are there two of these? I guess I've had one already. It's an interesting carriage ride, I guess. Quiet, but also not at the same time.
100% not.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I imagine. Yeah, no, it's not quiet. There's no way like Farah and Clint are letting Ashley just stew in silence.
Nope.
Ugh.
All right, is there any conversation you want to have
Let
on
me
the way
try
there?
to-
Ashley's trying to be quiet and brood.
Too bad. You got two very much not broody people.
So how long have you been avoiding them now?
And do you want to count intentionally or non-intentionally?
Yes.
I think it's been 13, 15 years now?
Huh. How'd you avoid seeing him at, like, a marketplace?
I was held captive by a fairy queen.
Well,
Oh.
you ain't been held
fair.
captive this entire time, though. You've been here for what? A couple months now?
Couple weeks. Month.
And your first instinct was to just do anything but see your family, right?
I wrote a letter.
Just this very, like, deadpan look.
His ears kind of twitch. Kind of looks out the window a little bit. Well, no, I guess he'd be driving.
You... I'm not gonna... No, just a letter. Boy, you lucky you got a fancy family, because otherwise you probably get your ass beat.
Well, noble country, they just disown you.
Ooh, that
Kind of
sounds
the same
rough.
thing. I mean, I was expecting it anyway. Surprised it hasn't happened. So, I guess I'm gonna go see them on Family Day to say hi.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, we'll own you.
He pauses.
Mm.
He blinks and pauses, like, huh.
No one can phrase it that one clear.
Not addressing that one.
He thinks about it. Shrugs.
You know, we probably could have just asked Archer there to get you a nice little pointed family arrow. Smooth a couple things
No.
over.
No, I wouldn't want to be affected by something like that, or have my family, because if it what if they wear off and they get angry again, you know? If they're mad at me, I'd rather just rip the bandage off rather than pretending everything's okay.
Well, if it makes you feel better, the arrow didn't really do much to me. Can't imagine it would be very helpful. He shrugs.
I guess it depends on how long it lasts.
Also, to be fair, you didn't get a full dose either.
Clint just looks at Farah and then kind of does the thoughtful and just goes, fair point. That's it, fair point.
To reach over in wherever the fuck Thistle is. It's like 2 fingernails, very gently pick her up by the scruff of her shirt, collar of her shirt.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Fairy.
Who's Thistle? Oh, Sprinkle. Okay.
Sprinkle. Okay.
I was like, wait, who the fuck
I
is
also
Thistle? Did you
I
guys
also
get
was
another
like,
pet
Thistle.
somehow?
It's also a fairy name.
Yeah, it is.
fucking
I
know.
just thought. No. I just thought you guys got a new pet without me knowing about it. I was like, wait, when did this happen?
See,
it
what that
another
has
dog?
just revealed to us is that we can just keep adding pets to this game, and Amy's just gonna roll with it as long as we say it with enough confidence.
No.
We'll reach out and grab Sprinkle from wherever she is sitting on Ashley, and instead just lift her up and drop her on to sit on her own horn. Just,
Okay.
I don't know that you necessarily want to be doing around him when he has to go talking about fairies kidnapped him. Not quite a good look.
What if he says I'm a nice one though?
It's true.
It worked on me.
It did.
You
I
really
can
think
sit here.
you really think that your family's gonna be as easy to convince as Clint?
You can see Ashley seriously consider this.
Clint just blinks. Why is it a convince?
Oh, buddy, oh, pal, yes, you are.
He shrugs and just goes, fair enough.
I think that you are the proper amount of convincing.
Thanks, Sprinkle.
But I can sit here with Farah. That's fine.
Whatever you want to do.
Should I, hide? What if they really, really hate fairies?
No, they ain't gonna be trying to go do nothing to you while you're on top of me.
True. If they try to mess with Farah, they'll have a bad time. Probably because of the many weapons she keeps on her person.
Oh yes, picking a fight with nobility. That'll.
Oh,
To
sorry.
be fair, we've been picking fights with nobility quite often in the past couple months.
Yes, but typically that's when they don't know who we are.
Yeah. Depending on when they pick a fight with us, then they may or may not actually know who we are. Well, know who you are.
They know
but
who I am.
Well, they know who you are, but they don't maybe don't have to know who I am by the time I have to stab them for something.
True, but they know where I work. They're gonna go to where I work.
you really think your family's gonna be coming over slumming it on our side of town?
Personally, no. But like every noble family, they got guards in their pocket.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
You're a little too carefree about all this.
Fear just shrugs.
Okay.
And with that, the carriage slowly turns around the corner, and you guys see, well, a bunch of different estates, but Ashley specifically recognizes the Estelmer estate. It's not that dark. It's like noon. It's like 1:30, so it's bright. This is just sunset vibes, but it is midday. And as the carriage rolls up, there's no visible activity outside. Sorry. But you do see like signs of recent, life. It's still active. People are still, living here, going in and out. But there's nothing going on from what you can see visually as you're rolling up. But as you get closer, you guys slowly start to hear the sound of music drifting down the path, coming from the estate, come from some of the open windows.
Sounds expensive.
Well, my family does found and support the Bard College here in Waterdeep, so this isn't a surprise.
And as you guys get closer, I imagine is actually just gonna pull up to the front door.
Yeah?
Okay. I just want to double check. I don't know if I don't know what your plan is here.
What plan?
Exactly. Yeah. So as you pull up to the front door and as you get closer, the sound of music gets clearer, and you can hear that it's a sound of not a symphony, but a full band coming in from the windows. Not like a 50 instrument band, but a small 10 to 15. Ashley, you're able to pick out that there's woodwinds, there's strings, there's drums. It's a proper ensemble. And as the song finishes, there is a very soft applause. Not a very loud one, but at most 3 people applaud.
Oh, we have company over. Wonderful. He's gonna go up and take the door knocker and just bonk, bonk.
Okay. One. Fuck. Okay. Sorry. I don't have any art, by the way, for these, so deal. Use the figment. Use your mind. As DeFera and Clint follow along with Ashley, so you're all at the front door, or are they
Yes.
A couple
Okay.
steps behind.
Unless Clint is told explicitly to not follow for any reason, he is going to follow about 10 to 15 feet behind Ashley, because it's this is his thing. But he is going to be hounding behind him because he just wants to see what happens.
Okay. As you to the big knocker, there's a sound that just reverberates through the house, and you feel it through the door. And it's very quiet. What are all your passive perceptions?
9.
Where did she go? It was 16.
13.
Okay. Ooh, Clint, you don't see this.
That's fine.
You're like, wow, is that door knocker shaped like a dragon?
He's still like examining the door knocker and listening to like the distant sounds of music, trying to guess the expensiveness of the instruments being used to play the music.
But Feyre and Ashley, you both notice while you're waiting, from behind the estate, there's like a kind of cobblestone brick path that goes around the entire estate. But you guys see shortly after the applause, as you guys are walking up to the door, and while you're waiting for someone to answer the knock, you see a carriage, driven by you would assume like a butler of sorts, a driver, as they drive past. And they don't pay you guys any mind, but they just go and they're leaving. So you guys notice out of the corner of your eye as you're waiting that someone is leaving at the same time you are entering. You're not able to dwell on it too much, as the door swings open and reveals a half-elf, very elderly, old woman dressed in a long black dress, wearing a white soft wool shawl over her shoulders. And Ashley, you haven't seen this woman in a very long time, but you know that this is Miria. She is the head of the staff. And she has been for as long as you can remember. And she opens the door and she stops. And when was Ashley taken? How old was he again?
He was like 10.
He was like 10? Okay, that's what I thought. But she stops and she looks. And she looks confused. And then she clocks the ears. And then she clocks the company standing just beside him. It's like. She just has a question in her eyes as she says, Is that Ashley?
Hello, Miria? He says, putting his hands behind his back, like scratching it a little bit. Is Mom and Dad in?
She's still reeling. And very, very quickly, all at once, her eyes just blink, and it's like she got put on pause for a second as she's processing this, and she just kind of snaps back into her role, and she steps back, gesturing for you all to follow inside, and gestures to take any overcoat you guys want to get rid of. As she closes the door behind you all, welcoming you in, she's like, Of course, they're in the drawing room right now. They just had a performance done by the local college. Ashley, are you? You're so grown.
It has been a while, yeah. It's been a long 12 years. 15, however long it's been. It's been that long.
Let me take your coats, and I am going to let your mother and father know of your arrival. She's going to just does anyone give her their coat?
Absolutely not.
Nope.
Okay. Nope. Does Ashley?
No.
Okay. Well, she just welcomes you all in, gestures to take coats. No one takes the offer. Nods her head. She gives another long look at Ashley as if she can't believe this. As if she's seeing a ghost, 'cause she kind of is. Before she retreats and goes to go and alert the parents of the house. And you guys are left in a seating room with what looks like a couple of very nice and plush seats with a very low but very long coffee table In the center is a fruit bowl with some very, very like rare fruit. You notice? Also with like a pitcher of water and some glasses. And you also notice like over tucked away in like a cabinet is a liquor cabinet. That you can see that's half decorative, half used. Right next to a bookshelf, and you can see the books very easily are not your normal books. These are all music books. Everything here, every bit of paper here is either sheet music or instrument or instructions on how to play an instrument, or stories and research about music theory. And that is the focus here.
Feyre does just like a quick lap around the room, kind of looking at everything before she just like grabs a fruit. She doesn't know what it is, and just kind of throws herself into a chair, like legs, like one leg crossed over the other, with like a little whistle. Fancy.
I don't know what you expected. Was the outside not a big enough hint?
Clint is going to grab a fruit in the same way that Farah does, just also casually grab it, look at it, kind of examine it. He's not going to eat it. He doesn't feel hungry. But he just tries to figure out what it is.
Meanwhile, Ashley goes to the liquor cabinet.
Oh my god, you just got here.
He's gonna need it, man.
Alright, yeah, it's open. Actually, you know what? It's not open, it's actually locked.
No alcohol for you.
How much time do I have?
I mean, you got more than 5 seconds and 3 rogues.
Yep.
I picked the lock.
Roll to pick the lock.
These tools. That's sleight of hand?
It's Dex plus proficiency.
Dex plus efficiency.
Or is it sleight of hand? I've
It
seen
could
it
be
as both.
these tools or sleight of hand. It kind of depends.
Yeah,
It's kind of the same roll.
it's just, yeah, Dex plus proficiency, essentially.
Yeah, I don't have Dex plus proficiency on Beyond, so.
Yeah. 12. Well, foiled by your family's very, very patent pending child safety liquor cabinet lock. And actually just get a flashback to like, this lock used to be in the pantry, in the kitchen, the pantry where they kept the sweets. This has foiled me once again.
I'll be back for you, Locke. You just sit back down with some water. Grumbling.
Feyre, has Feyre ever had a rambutan before?
I don't know if she's had one. She's probably seen them. Because she's sailed around a lot, so she's seen some weird shit. Just kind of turns it one way and then the other, looking at it. And then just digs a nail into it. And that's probably what she's like, oh, okay, that's where the food is.
It's like, I wonder, where's the food here?
Not supposed to eat spiky things, I know that much. There's the fruit.
Why are these strawberries all pointy?
Ain't strawberries, Clint. Don't know exactly
Looks
what
like
they're
a
called.
strawberry.
I mean, kinda. Don't know exactly what it's called, but I think. And you see her, like, a nail going to town trying to, like, rip this thing open.
Do your characters like it? Is the next thing.
Yes.
A fancy fruit wins.
Feyre's an adventurous eater.
Hell yeah. chance to eat fancy fruit on someone else's dime.
Yup.
Sorry. It's approximately 7 minutes of waiting. Guys settle in and eat your fruit and drink your water and mope about not being able to pick the liquor cabinet lock. But in walks in 2 people. And Ashley, what do your parents look like?
Oh no!
You don't use your fucking parents!
You didn't ask me to come up with pictures. I would have come up with pictures.
I literally did, though.
Did you really? Well, fuck. Okay.
Shame, Piper, shame.
I do not remember this. Let's see. Dad is.
You don't
I
have to
bel-
give me pictures. You can just give a general description if you'd like.
Dad is like a 6'2" elven man with long blonde hair, and he's got like some wrinkles by now in his forehead, and he's got like misty gray eyes, and he is wearing a very nice looking suit similar to Ashley's. Mother, little smaller, at 5'6", also with long blonde hair, but light blue eyes, and she's also wearing a suit. They're both wearing suits.
Why not?
The wife has a bunch of rings on her fingers.
Okay. You never gave me anything about these fucking people.
I gave you some basics.
Oh yeah, I'm more so like I don't have their names, so you're not getting names.
That's fine.
This is Lord and Lady Estelmer.
That is
Bitch. Bitch, you make me name everything.
If you want the names, I can come up with names. I got a generator
hang
pulled
on.
up every session.
fine. I got a generator. Hang on.
No, I actually every session I have a generator pulled up.
I
To
am
do shit like
offended.
this. I meant that was more so to Piper of you never gave me Ashley's parents' names.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna use
The threat of name your parents. I don't have a name. It's like, all right, I'm gonna run them through an auto generator. And it's just like, okay, fine, because it's gonna name them like some goofy thing. It's like, fine, I'll come up with the names.
I didn't even think about names when I was. The mother's name is Charlotte, and the male's name is. Caroline is not a male's name. What the fuck?
Says the one named Ashley.
Yeah, I was gonna
Shut
say.
the fuck up. You know what? I'm fine with the meme. The dad's name is Karen.
It's like
The tradition stuck.
She's my Caroline.
it's like Marion Mosby from Sweet
Yeah.
like Zack and
Yeah.
Cody, you know? It's a woman's name. It's a traditionally feminine name, but for a man, it's fine.
This man looks built, by the way.
Alright, so in walk these 2 individuals, both with very, very like tempered expressions on their face. Very strategically neutral as they walk in, slightly tense as they're holding themselves with proper poise and manner. As they enter the room, you see the man open the door for the woman, and she walks in first, and he follows after her. And they both stop, and they look at you all, and their gazes land on Ashley. What's Ashley doing as his parents walk in?
Sitting back straight against the chair. trying to look like he owns the place, which he kind of doesn't, but it's fine. He's got that confident look, trademark.
Okay. Sorry, my throat's still fucked, guys.
One day your throat will fix itself. One day.
I know, one day. Today is not that day, unfortunately. You see that they stop and they stare at Ashley, and almost similar to how Miria reacted, they look like they've seen a ghost. And then their eyes dart up to his ears on the top of his head, and they go back down to him, and just confusion settles in. As the mother, steps forward a little bit. Doesn't go directly to Ashley, but she steps forward a couple of steps, her husband trailing behind her, as they take their seats on a couple of chairs opposite of Ashley. It's like, and where have you been?
Well, the Feywilds.
This entire time you were in the Feywilds?
Yeah, for the most part.
What? Ashley, what happened?
Did I ever say what happened?
To them?
No, to anyone.
You said that.
You said you were kidnapped by Fae, and that's about it, I think.
That's all.
Yeah.
And then, forced to play and all that kind of
Mhm.
shit.
Well, I mean, I was out on my way back from my music practice, and next thing I know, I get a bunch of fairy dust in my face, and then I'm following a fairy to the Feywilds. And no, it was not of my volition.
She, places a hand over her mouth as she listens. Ashley's father just looks very, his brows are slightly furrowed as he's listening. And he stands up and he goes over to the liquor cabinet. Pulls out
I
a
think-
key.
Yeah, before he pulls out the key,
Okay,
Clint will
okay.
see him walk over to the liquor cabinet, and Clint will say, "Oh, don't bother, it's locked."
You just see Ashley slowly hand to his forehead and looking down.
You get this half cough laugh from Farah, who is now 3 or 4 orangutans in.
And looks pretty pleased with himself, just yeah, save him the trouble.
He pauses. He looks at Clint. Looks at Ashley for a second. He's taking now they're finally clocking who else is here. We got someone who looks fresh off a sailboat eating all of their fucking rambutans. We got Clint who's like, "Oh, don't bother, it's locked," implying he's already tried to open their liquor cabinet
And failed,
If it
mind
took
you.
too long, because Clint's grabbed a rambutan, right? Even though he wasn't eating it.
Yeah, he's just
Feyre-
playing with a rambutan.
Feyre at the because it took them so long to get in the room. Feyre has enlisted Clint's help in fucking peeling these things. Peel it and give it to her because she wants them.
Oh my god.
Clint has peeled one and got distracted and started fidgeting with 2 of them. Where you have two steel balls and kind of spin them between your fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Just fidget in some way. He's just fidgeting with 2 rambutans. And there's a peeled one that he has set down for Feyre.
As soon as they eyes drift in their direction, Feyre just half open rambutan in one hand, lifts the other one, 2-finger salute.
Oh my god.
Goes back to eating.
I should have left him at home.
You see Ashley's father just turns back, pulls out the key to the liquor cabinet, opens it up, brings like a glass decanter of amber colored liquor of some kind and a tray of glasses as he brings it over to the table. And he starts, as he sits back down to his seat next to Ashley's mother, he starts pouring out glasses. First one he hands to her. Second one to himself. He then pours 3 and 1 for each of you. And he takes a sip of his glass. The mother hasn't yet. She still has a hand over her mouth, but the other hand is holding this glass. And as he takes a sip, he just looks over to Ashley. Well, I'm just glad that you're back home.
Yeah. Me too.
Were you injured during your stay there, or your kidnapping?
I wasn't harmed. I mean, at least physically. I mean, I did get... And he kind of, like, makes his ears twitch a little bit.
At this point, the mother, like, snaps, like, eyes focus back on Ashley. And she sets down her drink. She didn't take a sip of it. As she, like, leans forward a bit across the table. And she, like, peers at Ashley. She's like, how did you escape and get back home? Did you just escape?
A friendly fairy. A friendly rebellious fairy helped me get out. I've been back for a couple weeks now. Not terribly long, but I wrote a letter.
Did you send the letter?
I did send it.
Okay. What did the letter say?
Hi,
Two lines,
it's
I'm
me.
alive.
Hi, it's me. I got kidnapped. I'm back now. I'm alive. I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back now, like I'm back in the city.
Yeah. I got kidnapped, but I'm okay.
Alright. You see the mother just, like, tilts her head a bit. She's like, that letter, I thought that it was prank mail, like, very cruel prank. I didn't believe it.
Well, it was genuine.
You do realize when you sent it, right?
No.
She, like, has, like, a almost sad smile. And you see, like, the very, very corners of her eye look the tiniest bit misty.
Ugh.
Ashley, you sent that on... Well, it arrived on the day you disappeared.
Huh? He blinks.
The anniversary of it.
Oh, I thought you said on the day. Day of the
No,
street.
no,
I'm
like,
that's some
anniversary.
time shit.
No, the anniversary of it. My bad, my mistake. So I thought it was just a cruel prank.
I hadn't realized that. I guess that's a little... one of Fate's little pranks, I suppose.
Oh, we're glad to see that you're back and you're here. You've been here for a few weeks now, have you? And then she, like, something dawns on her expression as she turns to her husband and, like, puts an arm on his shoulder. Like, Dear, remember a few days ago? And he nods as he sips his whiskey. Wait, Ashley, have you spoken to Rosette at all?
Immediately, he looks like he just got shot in the chest.
There's another cough
Kinda-
of a laugh.
She was here a few days ago.
Yeah, I've spoken to her.
You have?
Yeah.
It was... Wait, then she didn't mention that you were back.
That was probably out of a favor to me, because I wasn't really ready to talk to anybody.
Hmm.
And she probably wasn't very happy with me.
Well, Rose... She seemed a bit... Well, it's a bit hard to read her at the time. But I can chalk that up to her hiding the fact that you were back. She talked to us about officially ending the engagement.
Yeah, that was my idea.
She mentioned that she wanted to move on. And that you've been gone for over a decade by now. And that was the reason why. She didn't mention at all that you were back. Or that you had already spoken to her.
Yeah, I told her I wanted to nullify the engagement. She was probably trying to cover for me. He kind of scratches his head a little bit, looking down.
She looks a little concerned. She's like, is there a reason why you wanted to nullify it?
He takes a moment. He's like, well, I mean, imagine leaving a place to realize that you've been shunted 15 years in the future, right? It's not... I still like Rosette, but she, it's been a long time. And I'm not the same person, and she's not the same person, so I told her I wanted to start over, maybe. But I might not have gotten that clear across, and I don't know. Well, you probably don't know, but the point is, it's been a long time.
Right? Well, we're going to support you in whatever you choose to do.
He blinks.
She tilts her head, just you seem shocked.
Well, yeah, I kind of figured you guys would not be very happy with me, or not want to visit me, or, just not want anything to do with me after not hearing from your son for a decade and a half.
Well, we can't be mad at you for not talking to us while you were kidnapped, Ashley. But I can be a bit disappointed that you didn't come home when you first arrived. But what's important is that you did come home. And you didn't wait another decade.
He kind of just takes a deep breath, kind of looks down a little bit. Yeah. I was half expecting to be disowned from the family at this point.
And that's when your father, pipes up. He says, disowned?
Well, I mean, I've been gone for a decade. I kind of figured you'd want to get the family affairs in proper order, make sure our hair is secured. And since I wasn't here, I thought maybe Leto or somebody else. Kind of scratches his head a little bit.
Well, we had already planned to pass off the family wealth to Leto, but it was Ashley, you're our son. We thought you were dead this entire time.
He kind of just looks down, not really sure what to say at that.
And your mom, puts hand, reaches over the table to, put a hand over Ashley's. Ashley, we're not mad at you. Do I wish you had come home as soon as you were able to? Yes, but we're just happy that you're alive and you're well and that you are back. We thought our only child was dead for over a decade now. So of course we're happy to see that you're alive and well.
Kind of just thought I'd be written off as dead or the shameful son that ran away or something like that. Wasn't expecting this.
You were presumed dead, but, well, plans can be changed. We had plans to, if we passed, to pass it all off to Leto, but that's just paperwork that can be rewritten. You're back now. You can come back home. We'd love for you to come back home, Ashley. We still have your room as you left it. Miria keeps it well cleaned and no dust settles.
He kind of blushes a little bit, like exactly the same with every. Oh no.
Uh-oh, does Ashley have a race car bed?
Something embarrassing, probably. I have yet to figure out what, but
It's like drawings of him and Rosette, crayon drawings.
no. I don't know if I want to stay in the house. I am trying to live the best life as I can. I was trying to make a name for myself, in the event that, I was just kind of out on my own. I've been renovating a tavern with these two. Kind of motions over to Clint and Farah.
Wiggle fingers.
Clint waves.
Right, and I never got your names. I'm so sorry for not introducing myself.
I forgive you. My name is Clint. Clint Redletter.
Favor.
It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Charlotte Estelma, Lady Charlotte Estelma. Thank you so much for bringing Ashley with us and for spending time with him and working with him renovating this tavern. Is that what you've been doing the past few weeks?
Well, I figured I would need a gold income to stay alive.
Well, I am a bit offended you thought you couldn't come home.
Sorry.
But if you don't want to stay in the house, you don't have to, but you do have a place here.
Mm.
And if this business venture is what you want to do, then we'll support you in that. And if you want to make a name for yourself, you can. But just know that you can't always come home.
I'll try and spend a couple nights here out of the week at least.
At least come over for dinner every now and then. Maybe once a week.
Yeah, of course.
And your friends are welcome to join us. they were nice enough to keep you safe from harm.
He kind of blinks, unsure to bring up the shenanigans or not, but then just decides best not to.
Oh, we need to tell your aunt. She was just here. You just missed her, I think.
Oh, that was Morgan. Or Auntie Morgan.
Yes, your Aunt
Wonderful.
Morgan and Leto were just here. They were watching a performance with the local college that we had. Some of the top scholars were here for a private performance for them.
There's a slight grumbling. I just missed my chance to get that bastard. Because he hasn't forgotten his vow of revenge. Leto. Ashley holds a grudge, for sure.
It's like, we'll send a letter for her, send a message. I'm sure she'd want to see you.
He kind of shivers.
She's not that bad. I don't think she's going to pinch your cheeks. You're not a little boy anymore.
Pinch your cheeks.
What, did your mother and auntie not do that?
I ain't got one. So no.
Well, they would have.
There's just this, like... If Feyre has ever had an evil smile, there is an evil smile currently.
Clint seems to be deep in thought at the cheek pinching thing, and he is looking up at the ceiling and has pressing his own hand into the side of his face that he knows to be like missing cheek, like having an open wound in that area when he is not necklaced, and he's just pushing on that, like kind of smushing his face in silence.
And he feels cheek.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird.
Like, are you all going to be staying with us for dinner? You can explore the manor, and then we can meet for dinner in about 2 hours. Ashley, you can take them up to your room.
No, I'll have a guest room prepared for them.
Feyre just like... Now, a like palm full of like rambutan skins just like holds it up slightly. I'll have more of these things.
I can send for some, but we will be having dinner in about 2 hours if you don't want to spoil your appetite.
Has enough presence of mind to like not say anything, but looks a little thoughtful, though can't tell exactly what she is thinking.
Oh, well, you're here. We do have those top scholars of our local college here, if you'd want to, I don't know, perform with them, show off to them, show them a few things.
Show off to them. There's the snort.
You were always good at the piano, ever since you were young. That is a staple of our house.
You're not in Estama if you can't play the piano. I don't mind playing something, I suppose. I'm rather used to playing.
Alright. Well, we're going to go and get dinner started, or get the arrangement prepared and the room set. She's going to stand up, and her husband's going to follow suit, and he's going to place the his glass that's almost empty back onto the tray. As he stands up, and she's going to step near Ashley and gesture very hesitantly. Can I hug you, Ashley?
He He takes a minute, and then he nods and stands up to hug her.
It's a very slow embrace, very hesitant.
Mm-hmm.
But after a few seconds, it just gets squeezed tight. Before she very, very suddenly releases and steps back, hands on Ashley's shoulders. I do wonder how the ears happened, but it's... is it the byproduct?
Well, when Titania gets bored, she makes changes to things.
You don't have a tail as well, do you?
I
Or is
think
it
I
just
said that.
hidden?
I think I said that he does have a tail. He just keeps it hidden.
Right. If you do, then we can get things tailored to fit around it.
Clint
No.
just, like, you say, get things tailored, and Clint just points and goes, ah, tailored. I get it.
You get what?
Like a tail. He pantomimes having a tail with his hand. Tailored?
You can see that look of despair returning to Ashley's face. I should have left this bastard alone.
Feyre
I didn't know
goes-
your parents were comedians.
Feyre goes from kind of this like deadpan, like really look to Clint, sees Ashley like face palming again, and then slowly grins.
Alright, I'm gonna get a fucking chaos roll for you. Hold up.
Oh my god.
Watching
Oh
you
my
just have
God.
this shit-eating grin on your face the whole time. He's gonna make like a motion to summon his invisible mage hand, and he's gonna pull your cheeks a little.
There is a moment of like surprise, and then immediately Feyre just whips her head around and bites.
Bites nothing.
Bites the mage hand?
Yes.
I imagine it's kind of like chewing
How does that
into,
work?
like...
How does that taste?
I imagine the
I was
mage
going-
hand, like, does the, like, ow, and wakes its hand thing.
See, I imagine it's more of like a styrofoam thing, really fragile styrofoam, where it's invisible. It's got substance to it, but she just
Yeah.
crunches into it.
So like bubble wrap, basically.
Sort of, but less pop and like just a soft magical thing that's fragile that she just kind of chomps into. I'm going to go and get dinner arrangements started. It was great having you back home, Ashley, and meeting your friends. She says, witnessing all of this shit.
I will happily see you for dinner, mother.
Gives a pat on his shoulder and walks, and Ashley's father walks up behind, following her, stopping at Ashley and putting a very, very like broad hand on Ashley's shoulders as he gives like a firm squeeze, as he tells Ashley in a low voice, "Thank you for coming back."
He blinks but gives a small nod.
He releases and follows after his wife, and they disappear to go get dinner arrangements settled.
Ashley just waits for a moment and then just plops back onto the couch, looking up at the ceiling. And then he takes a deep breath, lets it out slowly, and then he says, "Don't bother, it's locked."
Clint, like, blinks and looks at the cabinet and then looks back at Ashley, and there's a moment of confusion, and he just goes, "Well, he had a key. I didn't know he had a key."
Another deep breath in and out. Oh, that went better than expected.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised they didn't disown you either, considering how prepared you were to be disowned.
I don't remember them being quite that nice, but maybe the loss of their son changed them.
Feyre just like still sit there like kind of rolling these rambutan skins in her hand. Just tilts her head. See, I told you needed to be coming over here and talking to them.
All hail Farah the Wise.
Clint pantomimes a bow, and you can see that in the glass that had the amber liquid poured in it that was given to him, he has put 2 rambutans.
He remembers the drink, sits up, grabs his, downs it in like 2 gulps. We're setting it back down.
Do you want mine? Holds up the drink with rambutans in it.
Might actually be something interesting. Ain't nobody gonna be doing nothing like that. Tastes good.
I'll try.
Might sell it.
I'll try. He like pours half of it to Farah and hands it to her. Here, we'll try it together.
Feyre just like, shrugs and we'll drink it.
Yeah.
Imagine it's nothing impressive, but
It's just the whole rambutan. Even if it's partially peeled or not, it's gonna have like a little bit of flavor.
well, rambutans don't have much flavor. I have had them. They're just kind of sweet water.
Whiskey infused rambutans.
And Feyre just like kind of makes a face at the glass, like smacking her lips a little bit. Probably not worth any of the effort for it. Puts the glass down, looks towards Ashley, like leaning forward now, like uncrossing the legs, putting both feet on the floor, leaning forward. So you didn't bust into fire, nothing like that. So I'm assuming you were okay.
I'm alive, I think. Maybe. Guess I could be a zombie or something, but... No, I think I'm alive. Somehow.
Feyre just, like, waits until Ashley is done and then gives one single nod. So, what's the plus and minus on Mommy and Daddy there deciding to invest a little bit?
I'm not gonna bring it up until a little ways later.
Gotta butter him up first. I understand.
It's more, I want this to fail or succeed on my own power, and by my own, I mean yours as well. I'll accept the gold when I absolutely need it, but beyond that, you know, I want to make a name for myself.
Fair enough. My daddy never gave me any handouts either. Well, never any gold handouts.
There is a moment where Feyre opens her mouth to ask the question, thinks better, closes her mouth, and shakes her head.
When I end up inheriting the estate, I want the tavern to be good practice. You know, if I still inherit it. And then, yeah, I'll absolutely invest more money into it. You can count on that.
Sounds more like a win and not an if, though I suppose you might have to go do a fist fight with Leto, but that should be...
I was gonna do that anyway. I was gonna go do that anyway. I owe him.
Neither one of you look like the type to fist fight, though, but I guess we could charge some money if you do that at the tavern.
I have a bow.
Yeah, fist fight better.
I have a bow.
No instinct for showmanship, I see.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we both have a strength of minus.
And there's a soft knock at the door as Miria is back. She gives a polite smile and she says, I have rooms prepared. If you'd like to rest there, I can also show you Master Ashley's old room.
That won't be necessary. And he kind of quickly dashes forward, whispering into her ear, "If you could just remove all like the bed sheets and everything, and like replace it with something more, mature. Maybe replace some of the books, some music there, even.
She looks at you, she's like, I'm under strict orders to not disturb the room and to preserve.
Well, I'm countermanding that order. It's my room.
She looks at you, she roll me persuasion.
Listen here, you bitch. It's my room.
She's like, last time I checked, you don't live here.
This old hag.
She thanks for a second. She's like, she blinks. She's like, she nods. She's like, it is your room. I will replace them with plain sheets.
Yeah, if you want to just if you want, you don't have to get rid of them. Just put them in a box. So I'll look at them later, maybe.
She nods. She's like, consider it done. I'll have that ready in 5 minutes.
Thank you.
She gestures. She's like, Master Ashley will show you the way. I have important duties to attend to. She leaves.
Thumbs up. Okay, maybe she's not that bad.
Okay. She's gonna go and do that, which it's not gonna take long. It's changing sheets. She's been doing this for a long ass time. She needs a 45-second head start, and it's gonna be done.
Alright, well, come on, I'll show you around the house. Alright, well, I guess you don't want to look at every part of the manor, but I don't know. I could play for you in the Grand Hall.
I'd like to look at all the pets of the manor that we haven't already seen.
Right, this way.
Alright. Do you have any ideas on what the house looks like? Or do you want me to just...
Very extravagant.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bougie?
8.
Okay.
Oh, that's reasonably bougie. That's good.
Reasonably
Yeah,
bougie.
reasonably,
They're
yeah.
not the most powerful or the richest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but they invest in appearances. The house is their home. It's a symbol of their legacy, so they poured a lot of money into it. So, as Ashley shows you all around, it's a very large estate. About what you see here, about that size of the building in the center. And as she shows you around to the different rooms, there's a lot of rooms dedicated to different instruments and different music styles. And some of them are makeshift classrooms. You see there are rows of music stands that are all empty. There are so many music books. And as you look, you see there are very subtle music motifs into the walls and the molding on the floor and the ceiling. Some very different pieces of artwork depicting grand symphonies and different melodies on treble and bass clefs are just dotted throughout the entire manor. There are staff around that you see out and about, but it's not bustling, it's not too busy. You do see a group of, you would assume to be the Bard students, the top scholars of the local Bard College, in one of the rooms, one of the larger rooms, and they're all meandering around a piano. You see half of their instruments are packed away. You see music sheets are still strewn about on some of the stands, but looks like they're all packing up to go. But taking their sweet time and enjoying the perks of being at the Estelmer estate for the afternoon. Very much enjoying the snacks and beverages that they were provided as they just look around at the scenery. It's very high quality estate. It's very quiet though. Aside from the music and very soft talking among the students that are grouped together, you don't really hear all that much. Maybe every now and then hushed whispers among the staff. But as you approach them, they finish their conversation and split up. So it's a very quiet house. And the only real noise is music. And that slowly drifts through. It's almost like there's a constant. Someone is playing something somewhere, and it drifts through the halls, whether through open windows or open doors or through the floors. There's always something playing. And Ashley, you look and you see Miria is holding a very small box as she walks in the opposite direction you're walking in the same hallway, and she gives you a nod. She has completed her mission.
That's my hero.
Mm-hmm. Just for curiosity's sake, what were Ashley's bed sheets?
I don't know.
Something embarrassing. What's his
like,
favorite animal as a kid?
You know, it's gonna be a
Koala
fox.
sheets.
It's gonna be a fox. Yeah.
Fox sheets.
Cartoon
Fox
foxes.
themed. Cartoon foxes on his sheets. Oh, he was right to have Miria get rid of that. Feyre and Clint would not have let him live that down.
Nope.
But it's free of all the fox sheets. And
That's
coincidentally,
my hero.
the room right next to Ashley's childhood room is a room prepped for you all to hang out until dinner time.
No, this must be the place.
The guest room is just your standard guest room. It's got a yeah. You didn't say anything about the fox plushies.
That's fine. Fox
Yeah.
plushies aren't as embarrassing.
Okay. It's just your standard guest room. It's got looks like a king size bed in one corner, four-poster, obviously. Bougie, but not too bougie. It's got, a couch, some chairs, a table. It has a French horn propped up next to a music stand. And it's right across the hall from a room labeled Ashley's room.
Oh, that's conveniently labeled.
Why is it labeled?
Because they're kind of bougie. You see Ashley's full name engraved into the door.
Click, click. We're
What's
gonna open
Ashley's
the
middle
door.
name?
And into Ashley's childhood room. Do you have any ideas on this, or do you want me to just go wild?
It's like a. It is like a pure white room with like white decorations, white and gold decorations, and with like a midnight sky painted on the rooftop, but instead of stars, there are like little music notes on it. There's a couple fox plushies on the bed. He's not ashamed of those. Those can stay. It's fine. There's a small little like work desk for studying and stuff like that. A small piano in one of the corners, a child-sized small piano. And a bookshelf of like beginner songs and stuff like that.
Hot cross buns.
Hot cross buns. For some reason, Rushy is in the first book.
And as you guys open the door, Sprinkle kind of hid into Feyre's like hood because she kind of chickened out. But she pokes her head out and she like zooms around the room and lands on one of the fox plushies.
Feyre just like walks across the room, picks up one of the plushies, turns towards Ashley, like fox plushie in hand. Well, I guess we can understand why you got to use now.
He shrugs. I mean, it wasn't my choice.
Clint just looks at all of the white and just like looking up and then around and then down and then around again and just goes, man, I could not live in a place like this. I would stain everything.
This is all rather clinical, ain't it?
Well, it's white and gold. They're fancy colors.
Not so much the room, but also the house itself.
Well.
And it's supposed to be fancy?
I mean, yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
fancy and clinical, not the same thing. It is fancy,
And-
yes, but it's also clinical.
Well,
Clint picks
people
up a
also
plushie.
use this as a minor school, so I mean, it's got to look at least a little schoolish, I suppose.
Seems kind of boring, not gonna lie.
Born to you is the dream for another. And he kind of plops down onto his old, soft, comfy bed.
Not sound much like a dream to you.
Oh, well, I mean, I love music. I love the noble lifestyle. Never knew any other lifestyle.
Yet you're slumming it out in the taverns with us.
True.
You want plushies to go in the tavern? And he holds up another plushie.
Nope, we got dogs.
Yeah, no.
But we could have dogs and plushies.
Dogs
No.
eat the plushies.
That would be pretty funny.
No one kind of snatches it out of Clint's hands. I don't mind the tavern lifestyle either. I guess I'm just fine with anything. I don't really have a preference.
We have that in common. And Clint says, like, sitting down. Does Ashley have, like, a desk?
Yeah, he has like a study desk.
Clint will, like, sit at the desk and slide the chair back and prop his feet up on the desk.
It is 10-year-old boy sized though.
Yes.
Clint will.
So
down.
slightly smaller than what you are used to.
It's a little, like, awkwardly proportioned with Clint, but he will awkwardly sit in it and prop his feet up. This desk is a little small, though. Needs to be
Well,
sized up.
The last time I was here, I was 10, so.
Ah, that explains it.
Mm. There's a knock at the door.
Come in.
Maria arrives, and she like nods her head in greeting. She says, dinner is prepared. It will be in the dining room. Your parents will be there shortly. But you can take your seats. They'll be with you in just a moment.
Alright. Thank you, Miria.
Nods. Takes her leave.
Ashley stands up. Well, if nothing else, once you have a noble's dinner, you're not going to want anything else.
Mhm. As you guys make your way down to the dining room, Ashley, you're kind of hit with a sense of deja vu. And walking through these halls from your childhood bedroom, down the hallway, going downstairs, over to the dining room where you know dinner is prepared. And you stop for a second in one of the hallways on the lower floor. You stop for a second and you look right next to a painting of what looks like a conductor conducting an entire symphony. You can practically see the waves of music flowing through the air. You see that there's a grate right next to it, and your ears twitch as you hear voices coming from it. And all of a sudden, the memory floods back to you. This grate? You remember, this leads right to your father's study. And you remember, Ashley, you used to be able to overhear your parents' conversations here at this grate, right next to this painting.
Oh,
And
see,
you
now
can
I gotta
hear-
do it.
And you can hear their voices, just barely, as you're walking past. Do you stop and do it?
I mean, I feel like I gotta, right?
You don't have to.
No, I feel like I gotta.
If you stop and listen, Clint is also going to stop and listen.
He'll put his finger up to his lips to shush, but he's gonna do so.
All right. So, Farah, do you eavesdrop as well? I'll say the grate is big enough that all three of you can once you move a little closer.
I mean, Farah's not going to press her ear up to like the grate or anything, but
Hmm.
like if the other two stop, she's not going to keep walking because she also has enough presence of mind and like trauma of her own of like, I am very much not a noble wandering around a noble's house.
Mm-hmm.
If I am by myself, they're gonna say shit and I don't want to deal with that.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you guys stop. And you listen in. Those of you who are listening in. And there was this swell of music that was died down. And you hear a slight applause from down the hallway around the corner. It looks like the students are finally leaving. So that ambient music is gone now. And now that that noise is gone, you're able to hear more clearly. You hear Ashley's parents talking to each other in very, like, fast tones. And you hear them talking to each other back and forth very rapidly. And you're able to essentially peer in and hear the mother, Charlotte, more prominent than the father's lower voice. Says, "Look, I know Morgan's not going to be happy about this." You hear the father, like, you see like a grumble of some response. So you're only able to pick up the mother's half of the conversation. The father's voice is too low to really carry through the pipe like hers is. She's not going to be happy, I know this. She was really planning on Leto inheriting our estate. We'll deal with it when the time comes. Ashley might not even want to inherit it. I know, if he does, then we're going to give it to him. He is our son, it's his birthright. Look, it's not going to come to anything like that. She's not crazy, she's not going to do something like that. We'll talk to her soon, after we inform her that Ashley is back. Unless Letta already told her, but she didn't mention it, so I assume she didn't know yet. Of course I'm happy that he's back. Aren't you? We have a boy back, that's all that matters. We might have to focus on the business end of things to make sure that things aren't complicated, but it's nothing we haven't done before. Besides, frankly, no, I'm not picking a fight with Morgan. I'm not crazy. But she is the one who convinced us he was dead in the first place. So I'm not exactly the most happy with her. Why would you say that? She's the one who halted the investigation. She's the one who convinced the guard to stop looking for him. Convinced us he was dead in the first place. I'm not picking a fight, but I'm not happy with her. And I'm not about to just let her inherit everything. If Ashley wants to inherit the estate in the house, he will. I'll make sure of it. I don't want it going to Morgan. Not anymore. We're done talking about this. We have dinner to get to. They're waiting on us.
Ashley quickly gets up, like, come on, we gotta go. But quietly.
Just fucking like, get the fuck out of the hallway.
Clint actually looks like, despite the different mixed emotional messages coming from the thing, the sheer immaturity and levity he gets from eavesdropping on a parent's conversation like that puts a very silly grin on his face. Like, hee 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 hee. We did that and they didn't catch us.
Likewise, Ashley also has a mischievous smile on his face. Just like old times.
You guys make your way down to the dining room. None the wise. You know what? Actually, give me stealth rolls. Y'all are rogues. You got this.
Yes.
If I wasn't eavesdropping, do I have to make a stealth roll?
No. Fair is good. I imagine Fair was on the other side of the hallway, just like perched up on the wall. And you guys, as Ashley and Clint like scramble to get back up, you see rounding the corner is Miria, holding that same box that Ashley knows contains his secrets. And she looks at Ashley and Clint scrambling upwards, and she just like furrows her brow as she like walks past you all, but gives Ashley like a slightly squinted look of like slight disapproval. And Ashley, this is the exact fucking look you got 15 years ago.
Some things really don't change.
Of you really shouldn't be doing that. Stop it. If I catch you again, I'll tell your parents. She never told them. But you guys are able to make your way and take your seats at the dinner table. And it's a very, very fancy looking dinner. And about approximately 10 seconds after you all settle into your seats, that's when Ashley's parents walk in. If you all didn't overhear their conversation, you'd have no idea that they had a tense conversation in the first place. They're still the image of poised and graceful. A little less tense than when you first encountered them, but you can chalk that up to processing that Ashley is back. As they take their seats, and you all have dinner. It is a roasted bird of some sort. Let's go with turkey. With all of the sides of veggies that you could ever desire. Dessert is a ice cream sorbet incorporating some of the rambutan, sliced very delicately and placed on top. But if you all don't have anything to talk to them about, dinner will pass as they make small talk and get to know yous of like, who the fuck are you guys anyway? But in, polite, noble speak. So tell us what you do for a living. Like, where are you from? All the polite small talks.
Clint would be uncharacteristically quiet unless asked anything directly aimed at him, because he has been trying to be quiet since Ashley asked him to not talk much.
Aww.
He's been trying to be good.
Yeah, I mean, Feyre knows how to have manners when she needs to.
Mhm.
So she's relatively polite, though she does go very obviously digging for embarrassing shit about Ashley once or twice.
You see that they give some stories, but they actually end up calling Miria over for her stories. And you realize that, like, while they know the big things, Farah, you get the vibe that, like most noble families, they weren't exactly there all the time.
Yeah.
So Miria has more stories about Ashley. And she will happily divulge them all.
Huh.
Yet, a story about Ashley's first time trying to play the violin. And he accidentally broke the resin on his bow because he thought it went under the strings.
Well,
And
I know which way's better now.
different stories of the different hijinks around the estate. Him and Rosette, actually. She mentions stories of both of them and the mischief they would get up to as children. She'd always say that no, Rosette would never do any of that. It was Ashley.
That's not true. She is guilty in half of it. But nobody ever listens to Ashley.
Miri would just respond to that with like, when I caught you all drawing on the wall, your hands were literally red with paint. Hers were
And
clean.
because she knew prestidigitation at the time.
Now, Rosette's a good girl. She wouldn't do something like that. She's always been very sweet and well-mannered.
He's kind of narrowing his eyes as these old fights are being brought up. You listen here.
No, I know she's a good girl. She's always been a good girl. She came here and visited regularly. She's always been very sweet.
Yeah, she's pretty sweet.
So she never did any of those stuff. It was always you causing trouble and dragging poor little Rosette into it.
He bites his tongue.
It's like, she just goes like, that girl. You know, I miss her coming around more regularly. She's always such a delightful presence around, very quiet and calm.
We probably won't be seeing much of her anymore.
Well, hopefully I'll see her around. She remembers me. Dabs a tear from her eye with like a handkerchief.
I'm sure she could never forget you.
Right.
Even when she's in space right now.
She did mention she was going away for a few months.
Maybe she'll bring you back a souvenir.
Oh, I'd hope. She didn't have to, not for little old me, but I could hope.
Oh, okay. I notice you're not crying for me.
You're back now. She ain't gonna be crying about you. You're back now. Other one's gone now.
Any other last things for the Estelmer household?
No, I'm good.
All right. And with
Since
that,
we ain't
they
stealing shit from them this time.
with that, dinner concludes. It was delicious. Miria gives Ashley a box, leftovers,
Oh,
prepared, and she like pats his head a little bit as she gives him the bag and containers of the leftovers from the dinner. As they bid you all a good night, and as you all step out, you realize that was an early ass dinner. It's sunset now.
Oh, well, that's conveniently timed. Now we can get to the other side of town and do the rest of the
hold
stuff.
up.
Oh,
I want to like whisper something to Myrna right quick.
Okay.
oh.
Could you give Mom and Dad a message for me?
Would this be a verbal message or a written one?
Verbal. Please tell them that Leto knew I was back as well. And then with that, he'll quickly rejoin his friends.
She pauses and she nods. It's like, as you wish. Trying to throw Leto under the bus.
A little bit.
Yeah. And you all get to your carriage. It's sunset now. Conveniently, you have enough time to get to the Sea Ward, if you would like, by nighttime.
Perfect. Off to Seaward?
Mm-hmm. And as you guys are traveling, you see... Oh, whoops. Wrong one. It's a bit of a journey. It's late. There's a lot of traffic. People are heading home. And you see out of the window, you see a red streak heading in the opposite direction you're going in.
Once you know what you're looking for, he's actually pretty easy to fucking spot, ain't he?
Clint just kind of scratches the back of his head like, yeah, I'm not sure how we missed it so much. Unless all the little red blurs I see out of the corner of my eye aren't just eye floaters and are in fact him.
I think it's more that maybe now that we've seen him a lot, it's just a customation.
All right. Did you guys travel over to Dock Ward? Did you guys do anything specific, or are you just driving around?
No,
Driving
I'm
around,
just
I
driving
guess.
around. Just
Yeah.
drive straight to Dockward.
Okay. All of you can roll me an Arcana.
Ooh.
Since all of you are familiar with magic enough.
My Arcana roll does not agree.
Nor does mine.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah.
Mine agrees
I mean,
the
you
most,
gotta-
apparently.
Yeah. Okay. So, Ashley, Clint, you guys are looking around, trying to like any mention of this fucking hate monster, anti-love monster. It's in this ward. This ward's fucking huge. Not much help, but you're keeping your eyes and ears out. Feyre, you hear a little whisper in the wind coming in as the tide's coming in. And you hear a very, very faint whisper of Riptide's voice as she says, "They're at the southern docks."
See, this is the kind of god I can get behind.
Feyre just like tilts her head slightly, and you see her like head tilt and look in the direction of the ocean. And there's like a moment where she's like considering. I think you will be going down to the southern docks here.
To the south, Quinn says triumphantly, pointing to the sky.
All right. You guys make your way over to the southernmost docks. And by the time you guys get there, you guys cross the entire fucking city through traffic. You also spend a good hour or two looking around Dockport itself. It's approximately like almost midnight at this point. The city is asleep for the most part. You got a couple stragglers, like there always is in Dockport. But as you guys get closer to the docks, Feyre, you feel that same wind, but instead of like any words, the most you can get is a faint giggle as it comes in from the wind coming from the sea. And the giggling kind of stops as Ashley pulls up to a very vacant part of the docks. So I'm trying to fucking bring this over here. You see you guys parked right up top here. The boats are docked and are unmanned. Looks like everyone has gone home for the evening. As you can see, there's very little people about. You see there's like a stray cat in a trash can that sees you all, hisses and runs, and kind of hops onto one of the ships. And you see everything is really congested. There's lots of little dinghies, lots of bigger ships, lots of crates that are hanging from cranes over the water. Lots of the docks itself are a little worn down and rugged compared to the northern docks. You see that these ones are more for ships that are parked for a long time rather than used a lot. These are the ones that you know that they're going to be here for quite a while, so we don't need to be too particular because they're going to be here for a while. There's no need to get all fancy with parking them, so everything's a little messy. Things are a lot closer than they should be. But Farah, you know that like these guys just wanted to get on land. The ship was good enough. It's not going anywhere. It might bump into a little dinghy, but not enough to do any damage. At most, it'll scrape a barnacle off, but that's fine. But everything is fine.
Feyre just, as soon as the carriage stops, hops out, and just gets this like disapproving like click of the tongue. Yeah, she understands, but she doesn't like the ships are just parked and not doing anything.
So,
Well,
guys.
oh, sorry.
I was gonna ask, what are you guys doing? It's midnight at the docks.
I'll have my familiar scout about.
Feyre is just heading towards the front, towards the docks themselves.
Clint will pull out the Dragon Blaster, and
Ooh.
he is going to, like, I want to see how tall are these buildings, because I want to slingshot on top of them with the little grappling hook.
These are shorter buildings. They're like 2 stories at most.
Okay.
You can easily use your slingshot, your grappling hook to get to the top if you'd like.
Yeah.
Mm.
He'll grappling hook himself up to on top of this building here, and then he'll hold the Dragon Blaster out by the middle of the barrel, so that it's like like he's holding it like a stick or a baton, and then he'll pantomime having a bow and he'll be like, "Hi, look, I'm Acha," and he'll pretend string an arrow and draw it back.
Feyre just like looks up, watches, snorts, and shakes her head.
All right. So as you're all looking around, doing a little bit of a investigate.
Feyre's just gonna kind of pace back and forth on like dockside, kind of let out a
Mhm.
low whistle, see if anything starts making noise when she makes noise.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Apparently it does.
Let me just double check. As Feyre lets out this whistle, it's almost like the wind kind of bends around the buildings. There's almost like a whistle back. It's a very broken whistle, though. And you said Feyre is pacing in front on the dock, right?
Yeah.
Clint's on the roof. What's Ashley doing?
I'm having my familiar scatter around while looking around.
Okay.
Less.
Thank you. Okay. Your familiar roll perception?
What's that? Does my familiar use? Does it use my
What's
It
this?
should say in the spell.
Yeah.
It depends on the familiar, I think.
Mm-hmm.
D&D 5e?
Yeah, like what's the
Raven.
familiar?
And I'm googling it. Raven has a passive perception of 13.
Okay.
Technically, I should use an owl, but I prefer Raven. So I guess +1.
All right.
11.
Okay. Raven circles around, not alerting you of anything. However, Clint, you hear the whistling in the wind get a little louder and stronger from your vantage point on top of the roof, as if the sound surges upwards, with carried by the wind hitting you right in the face. And you hear a voice coming from this direction, kind of taking the place of the whistling in the wind.
Hmm.
And you hear the voice of your brother.
Oh.
And you just hear it's like whistling. The whistling gets sharper and louder to it's like almost like this almost like piercing sound of the wind, and then it's broken by suddenly Clint. You hear your brother's voice say, like, "Clint, over here!"
Clint blinks for a second, then reaches up a hand and then picks his ear to like get some excess earwax out. And then we'll take a step over to the edge of the rooftop and kind of leer over. He'll wait for a second there as he's like kind of craning his neck over the edge, listening for it and looking around.
You don't see anything.
Does the noise come
But-
again?
After a few seconds, as the wind picks up and the whistling picks up again, you hear it again. You hear like this time it seems like it's a little farther and it travels farther. As he says, "I'm down here."
Clint will kind of furrow his brow for a second. And He's holding the dragon blaster, but he'll jump down off the roof and kind of plop down, and he's going to try to like sneak over to this corner-ish area to kind of peer around the corner.
Roll me stealth. Also, are you communicating to the party? What's happening?
No, he's just being very quiet.
Okay, roll me stealth.
20.
Okay, roll me perception.
Ha ha ha. 4. I'm so quiet, even I
Ashley?
didn't hear me.
Ashley, have your familiar roll perception again.
The back and forth of D&D.
Okay,
19.
Ashley, your familiar, your raven, has quite a sight to behold. They see, as they're flying around, they're circling. This time they're swooping a little lower, going under the blast of wind that's coming up. And they see Clint sneaking off, like sneaking into a corner, slinking into a corner, blaster at the ready. And he's ducked behind a crate. And he's moving so silently, but they can see from their vantage point. And they also see a shadowy figure just around the other side of Clint. And you see that it looks like both of them are hiding. Have your bird roll insight for me?
Well,
Roll wisdom.
insight?
Yeah. Just for funs. Are you looking through your bird's eyes, by the way?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Which means Ashley sat on a crate blind right now.
Yeah. Yep. So
I sure
you're sat
am.
on a great blind. Ashley, I only had you roll insight for the bird because I didn't realize you were looking through the eyes of it. Ashley, you see this creature, and you see that it's slinked around the corner directly opposite Clint, and you realize, oh, they're hiding from each other.
Huh.
And you get a good look of this creature. I will... Blah. This guy.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Around the corner, like, pretty much right here. They're both about to pop out from around the corner. They're both waiting for the other to pop out from around the corner.
Ashley blinks. Oh, thank God he's an idiot.
They both-
He returns his emotion to himself, like, come on, I know where they are.
So you were just like, what?
They both rolled high stealth, low perception.
They're hiding from each other.
Oh, shit.
They're both trying to ambush each other. Is more correct.
This guy's stupid. He'll never see me coming.
This guy's stupid. He'll never see me coming. Maybe they are really brothers.
But as you guys are walking around,
Oh,
Gonna ready a eldritch blast for the moment I see something.
yep.
I am going to
Sure.
play music.
All right, and with that, we're gonna kick off initiative.